So today we're talking about the number 4. In Jinshin Jitsu, safety engine lock number 4 came into the universe meaning measuring intelligence, measuring out to each function exactly what it needs. It's also known as the window. So in other words, it's the window through which we access this universal energy, and then in the physiology what happens is that energy is meted out to each organ function energy as it is required. So 4 is the window because it actually illuminates the bigger world to us. 4 is the philosopher, 4 is the visionary, 4 is the person who can see the big picture. So they're not necessarily so goal driven, but they are more big picture seers, and because they're big picture seers, they often are misunderstood. 4 is about integrity and truth, and they are very, very strongly committed to justice. And so they generally will leave no stone unturned in order to uncover the truth. They are the kind of people who make really good detectives. They're good forensic auditors. They will dig through the trash. They'll look through your cell phone. They will actually find your password. They'll open up your cell phone and they'll check to see whether you have been lying to them or not. So if you're married to anybody who has a 4 in the root of their life map, watch out, because if you do transgress in some way, they are going to find it out. It's probably better just to be honest up front with them. 4s are also mavericks. They like to join causes. They like to be different. They don't like conforming. They generally can be quite eccentric. They have a different way of dressing. They often have a different way of speaking. They can sometimes be fairly blunt. When they are not in, when they become more reactive, I should look at my notes here. Oh, they can become quite cryptic. They're difficult to understand. They can play hard to get. They can be quite withdrawn. They will do the opposite of what you expect, and they can be very unpredictable. So you can say X to them today and they'll behave in a certain way, and when you do the same thing to them a week later, they actually may turn on you and behave in a completely different way. So they're very unpredictable and they're difficult to understand, and in fact they're difficult for themselves to they struggle to understand themselves, and part of that is because they don't want to conform. They don't want to be predictable. They don't want to be the norm. Okay, so sometimes they can go off a bit half-cocked, but they are very much about integrity. They're about the truth. 4s, because they're the big picture seers, they're the number, if there is such a thing, that has the most FOMO probably. Maybe 9s too. Okay, 4s hate losing out, and so when they are using it as a manipulative tactic, they will automatically start becoming closed and not share details with you, because they know how they hate not knowing that, right? And so that is the way in which someone with a 4 might actually end up punishing you. So 4s are great at ferreting out the lies. 4s are like those theater masks, you know, there's the happy and the sad one. They can change really quickly. Their moods can be actually quite labile and quite volatile, but they're very structured. They're visionaries. They're the big picture seers. It's an earth number, so they are quite boundaried, and they can be relatively organized in terms of how they actually get things done, and they do get things done. So that is the essence of the 4. If you were born on the 4th, if you were born on the 13th, if you were born on the 22nd, or if you were born on the 31st of the month, you will have a 4 as your personality persona. If you were born in April, January, February, March, April, you know what, I think with the 3s I told people if they were born in April, but it's March. Okay, if you're born in April, then you have a 4 in the root of your life map also, and obviously if you reduce your year number and it comes to a 4, then you will have a 4 there as well. If you have more than 1, then the energy of that number is always intensified. I will speak to you again tomorrow about the 5s.